going, everyone? This is going to be an unboxing and review of the Armor X Pro and the Armor X. Hope you enjoy. Hey, how's it going, everyone? So this is going to be an unboxing part of the Armor X Pro and the Armor X made by Bigbig. So as you see, got both of the models right here. The only big difference I see so far is that the Armor X Pro supports gyro controls, which you can probably see if it ever focuses right here. Yep, gyro motion control assistant right here. And this one's just the 4 back buttons. So anyway, without further ado, let's actually open this. Oh, guys, got a little sticker right here. Let's just open this. All right, that actually was a lot easy. What you get? Okay, so opening up the Pro, I was able to see that you get, this is the back plate that goes on the back of your controller. So as you see, it kind of fits like a battery pack and it fits there perfectly. Looks like you have 4 programmable buttons. Power button. Looks like an A/B swap button, which is interesting. FN button. This looks like the profile button. I'm not sure what this button does. I think this button's the gyro button, and then this one is not really sure. Gonna figure it out later. But yeah, you get this. Of course, you get the dongle, which you're going to need if you're going to use this back plate on your Xbox controller. And it looks like you get a cable to charge it. Yep, is this a charging cable? It kind of is, because you get the charge at the front, so I guess it counts. All right. And of course, you get a little Bigbig sticker. That's pretty cool. Oh, October 8th with a stamp on it. And you get a booklet which tells you all the instructions, which is actually really good because I need to know all the instructions and let you know the rumble motions. Oh, and it looks like they got QR codes for Discord, the application, which is right here. This one is a Q&R code to watch a video tutorial, which is good. So yeah, that's good. And let's open up this one so we can see what is going on in these. All right, I'm gonna set this box to the side. Let's see. So for this one, this one doesn't support gyro controls, which is interesting because of the first thing I noticed between the Pro and the regular one is that the Pro version has a gyro control button. This button has a lightning symbol with the left trigger and right trigger. So I'm wondering if this is like a turbo mode for the left trigger and right trigger, which is interesting. So, I mean, it gives you something. They put the button used for something rather than gyros, since it doesn't have gyros. Now, it looks like you also get a dongle, which I'm gonna keep these separate so I won't lose these dongles. And of course, another cable. And a Bigbig one, and this is the booklet for the regular back plate with that doesn't have the gyro controls. Yeah, it seems like pretty much the same, except it's more aimed towards just the basic functions, and they took out the gyro controls and put something else in there, so that's cool. So yeah, looking at both of these, I would definitely have to say, like, they look pretty cool. I actually have an Xbox Series X, or what they called it now, Xbox Core controller. This is my one. I kind of changed out the top shell and I kind of put like these trigger side rails on it, or trigger stoppers. But let's pull this out because I'm just curious about see how this fits in. So it looks like you slide it in. You clip this right here. Done. Oh my god, this actually feels good. So here's this fits on the back of my Series X controller. Wait, I'm trying to hope my camera can focus. You could do it, camera. There you go, you focused. Don't mean to move around too much, but yeah, so as you can see, the Xbox Series controller is what I'm gonna call them. But yeah, it fits like very well in the back of it. So holding it, I can honestly, like, my middle finger can reach these no problem. Like, oh my God, this is like so simple. They got a nice click to them, and all the profile buttons are easy to reach. Like, this pack feels extremely comfortable. I'm impressed. I wonder, will this turn on my controller? Oh, snap. So the button down here does turn on your controller. And it's funny because my controller think that it's synced up to something, but it's really synced up to this back plate. And I guess this back is looking for the dongle, which is interesting. But yeah, let's actually get into it. I'm gonna actually get into some games and see how this controller feels, because now instead of getting those elite controllers that Microsoft's selling, you might just be able to spend like $50 to $70 and get some back buttons and get like your own pro or elite experience with this controller. So we'll see how this works. The Armor X Pro controller has 3 different profiles, and you can tell by the LED color. Red will be profile 1, blue will be profile 2, and green will be profile 3. To map at one of the Xbox buttons to the mappable buttons is simple. All you have to do is press one of the mappable buttons and plus AB. The LED will turn green, the controller will vibrate, and then you press one of the Xbox buttons and they'll vibrate again, and there you go. Now that button's mapped to the mappable button. To use the turbo mode on this controller, what you want to do is you want to press the turbo mode button plus the desired button that you want turbo mode. Once you do that, every time you push that button, the turbo mode will activate and will do 5 clicks a second. Now, if you want to up the speed on it, you can by pressing the FN plus the up and down arrow. This will increase it from 5 seconds to 10 seconds, and then from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. And if you want to get rid of the turbo functions, what you want to do is press the turbo button twice, and that will clear all turbo settings for this controller. I found something unique about the turbo mode feature for this controller. Say for instance, you have the X button on the Xbox controller, and you also have a button mapped to the X button on one of the mappable buttons. You can actually program turbo mode to work on the mappable button or the X button. So that way, one button can be used as a regular input while the other button can be used as the turbo mode input. Not sure exactly what this can be useful for, but it was something unique I found out. Okay, so if you want to program macros on this button, you can. So what you want to do is you want to press the FN button plus one of the mappable buttons and hold it until it turns red. So once it starts breathing red, then you want to do whatever inputs you want to do, for example. And then you press the FN button again. And then all you have to do now is press that macro button, and there you go. You have your macros. So this is actually a really decent thing that you can use. Like spamming Hadouken all day. Yeah, don't be that guy that makes a macro just to spam Hadouken. That's the easy way for you not to have friends. Okay, now we're going to talk about the differences between the Armor X Pro and the regular Armor X. So we're going to start off with the Armor X Pro and talk about the gyro controls and also the mobile app that works with the Armor X Pro. Okay, now, so the Armor X Pro actually has 3 different gyro functions, which is global left, global right, and responsive right. So to activate the gyro motions on the controller, you can simply go on the back of the controller and press the gyro button. This will turn on the gyro motions control, and it will, I think by default, is automatically set to the right stick. So if you want to switch to the left stick, what you want to do is you want to hit the gyro button in the left stick. With this mode, you'll be able to use the left stick with the gyro motions, which I honestly found a good use for this using racing games. So that way, instead of like using the left stick to turn left and right, you can use the controller to turn left and right if you wanted to, which I found pretty cool. The global right, usually you could hit the gyro button and then you can hit the right stick, and this will activate the right stick, which will be kind of useful for first-person shooters and third-person shooters, where you, instead of aiming with the right stick, you could just move your controller around to aim with the right stick. And there's also a third mode, which is called the responsive right stick gyro. So for this one, you actually want to hit like a responsive button. Like, for example, I'm just going to make the right trigger the response button, plus the gyro button, plus the right stick. So that way, now that the right trigger is my response button, I have to hold down the right trigger is the only way that the right stick gyro will activate. And this is actually my preferred way of using the right gyro stick when it comes to first-person shooters. So that way I can run and move around freely, but as soon as I aim down sights, then that's when the gyro motions will turn on and I can actually start aiming with the gyros rather than using the right stick. So yep, that is all of the gyro functions for the Armor X Pro. All right, so the Armor X Pro is actually compatible with the app that's called the Bigbig 1 Elite app. So with this, you'll be able to select the Armor X Pro controller. Once connected to the controller, you'll be able to see the battery life of it, and you'll be able to go into your config files to configure some settings, and also you can also configure some macros. So going into the edit, you'll be able to control the motion sensitivity of the gyros, so that way you can control the left stick, the right sticks, the responsive switch for the right stick if you wanted to. You also can control the stick's dead stones and the stick curvature if you wanted to. You also can control the trigger sensitivity. You also can control the dead zones of the triggers if you wanted to. And you also can customize the hair triggers if you want hair triggers on the controller. And you can map all of the buttons on the controller with this app if you have the Armor X Pro. So yep, that's it for this app. Okay, so let's get into the regular Armor X pack. So unlike its big brother, the Armor X pack does not support gyro functions and it is not compatible with the app. And they replaced the gyro button with the hair trigger button. So getting into the hair trigger, basically what this will allow you to do is that when you activate it by pressing the hair trigger button plus the left trigger or the right trigger, it makes it so as if when you press down the left trigger, it will register the input, but as soon as you release it, instead of taking this time where you have to fully release it to go back down to 0, as soon as you release the trigger, it automatically goes down to 0. So that way you can press all the way, let it go back halfway, and then press it again, and it'll still activate as a whole new trigger input. And this is actually really good for first-person shooters. So if you want to get a bunch of quick shots in, you can do that. And honestly, I prefer this over the trigger stoppers that most controllers have, because sometimes they don't work as well, or sometimes even though they're supposed to be 50% or 75%, they just don't work. I would rather use hair triggers over physical trigger stoppers any day. Okay, so another feature with the Armor X Pro and the Armor X is that you will be able to use this controller on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, I don't own a PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch, so I can't show you that feature, but I'm pretty sure that there's someone that can confirm this for me. But overall, I have to say, for using the Armor X Pro and also using the Armor X, these are honestly like amazing accessories for your Xbox Series / Core controller. And the fact of the matter is that the Xbox Series / Core controller is going for around $50 to $60. And if you get an Armor X Pro, that's like $70. This actually competes directly with the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, the base model, and you arguably are getting more functionality out of just getting this bundle rather than getting the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller base model. So yeah, honestly, like if you don't feel like buying a whole new controller and just want to take your existing controller and make it into a Pro or a / Elite controller, this is honestly an easy way. The only downsides with the two backpacks is the fact that you have to use the dongle, which isn't a big deal because it just basically takes up a USB port on your Xbox or on your PC or whatever. And also you lose functionality to the 3.5mm jack, which it kind of sucks. I mean, you can still use the audio jack if you have the controller like wired into the dongle and stuff, but honestly, like just get like a regular USB headset and plug into your Xbox and stuff, or you can plug into your PC, you should be fine. But overall, I have to say, like, both of these backpacks, I love them. They are awesome. This is a great accessory for your Xbox controller, and I do recommend you getting this if you don't feel like buying a whole new controller, because this is an easy way to make your controller into a Pro / Elite like controller. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you like this review, give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I actually do like doing controller reviews and controller accessory reviews, and this one was surprisingly like a really fun one. The fact that you can now easily take an Xbox controller and make it into a Pro / Elite like controller. And also stay tuned, because I also have more controller reviews coming out, and I have more controller accessory reviews coming out. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.